everybody, and welcome back. As always, thank you for tuning in and spending a little time with us. It's Tuesday and the 19th. It's been a rather cold one out there. Good news is we're going to recover, and we're going to recover just long enough to get used to it before another big push of Arctic air rolls in for your weekend. Yeah, we've got that. Some showers, maybe a flake or two even in your forecast. Your forecast, one of 4 orders of business on tonight's program. That, calendar, and other announcements. The Gulf County Fiscal Court met in session earlier today. Alcohol sales on Election Day, roads by name or number, a new county park, and how decisions are made in regards to what roads are being blacktopped. That and more discussed. And I'll take you to the Bread of Life outreach over at the Oscar in just a few moments to see how you can help these folks, help other folks in McGoffin and Johnson counties at the most needful time of the year. We'll get to that actually in just a few moments, and I've got a segue or two to get us there. The Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet reports just this week that in the third quarter of the fiscal year in the Commonwealth, that's July the 1st through the end of September, we here in Kentucky have lost another 439 coal jobs. That equates to about 3.5%, and it goes right along with national trends. The majority of those 439, 403 to be exact, were lost in eastern Kentucky specifically. And that all adds up to now counting more than 6,100 coal jobs lost just in eastern Kentucky just since July of 2011. That's a staggering 40% of the field. And we now have the least number of coal jobs since the number of coal jobs was recorded back in 1927. More layoffs have already been announced and more are anticipated since the end of the third quarter, which means those numbers are going to continue to follow the same line. And, of course, that significant economic impact and a variety of others leads to, well, our next report. To some degree, one of the many factors that has resulted in times being harder than ever for a whole lot of folks just trying to get by and make ends meet and put a little food on the table. It also means there's a greater need for people like the Bread of Life outreach over at the Oscar. They rely on support throughout the community to help put food on the table for about 400 families every month. And, indeed, the holidays are much more needful than that. I'd really think that deep down we all want to help, and I think we all want to help more during the holidays, and a lot of us who are in the position to help maybe often get wrapped up in our own lives day to day, trying to get it all done for ourselves and our families during the holidays, and there's just never enough time to do that, and thinking of someone else is often a hard thing to do. And when you do want to help, there's not always an easy solution or an answer staring you right in the face. Well, tonight we've got one of those answers for you. I spent the day at the Bread of Life outreach over at the Oscar yesterday, at least a few hours of it, and talked with some folks about what they've been doing, how long they've been doing it, and how now more than ever they need a little extra help. The holidays are always a very needful time for many communities, many families throughout the communities that they serve, and this one is no different, perhaps the most serious. James and Barbara LeMaster started the outreach about 10 years ago. Barbara couldn't be with us for the interview yesterday due to a family emergency where we want her to know our thoughts and prayers with her and her family. But she says that after working at Walmart for about a decade, it became clear that she needed to do something else. She says that after working at Walmart for about 10 years or so, the Lord started directing her to quit her job. She didn't know why. She was just unsure. And she wrestled with those feelings for some time, during which she kept being drawn to the old Oil Springs Elementary School building every time she would drive by. And she says she later followed that divine guidance, quit her job, and then rented a room, still not sure why, at the Oscar. And today those steps have led to the Pillar Stone Chapel, in the very room that she first rented, and the Bread of Life outreach post. Yesterday I sat down with Barbara's husband, James, Karen Salyers, Youth Services Director at Johnson Central, who's been at the outreach now for about 3 years, and Judy Ward, who got involved after the tornado and then never left.
We have about 400 clients that come in, and we serve their clients 2 times a month. That'd be the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of every month. But we have people come daily for just help, you know.
For what kind of services, what kind of items do you have to offer? And for who? What kind of situations for, are people in sometimes?
Well, just like we had a family that their home burnt, and we sent them out here for clothes and items for their home once they got into another place to live. And so we sent them out here, and they gave them clothes. They got to go through clothes for the whole family. And then they had coffee tables, end tables, like dishes and things like that they could use in their home once they got into their homes. So we've done that several times throughout the year.
Yes.
And like any other pantry or outreach organization, The need is always greater than the support.
I know for our families, it's a tremendous need. With jobs being lost throughout the community, we have had families that's having to move away, but the whole family doesn't move away, just like the husband or the wife one will have to work out of town. Then you've got families that, even working families, that their budgets just don't stretch as far as it needs to stretch. You got grandparents raising grandchildren that's needing help, that's on budgets, on fixed incomes, that needs so much help. And so without the Bread of Life and their outreach, there's no way that we could take care of our families.
As I was there yesterday, volunteers were feverishly working on support for the Thanksgiving holiday. And at the same time, they're already working on and growing concerned about having enough food and supplies for the Christmas holiday. And for them, that means having it all ready to go and boxed up and ready to get out into the hands of families who need it by the first week or so of December. And that means they could use some help.
And we will gather in the next few weeks, for those families. And the whole trimmings for Christmas is what we're asking for. You have stuffing, you have sweet potatoes, you have mashed potatoes, just the works, the trimmings that we will box up. Today we have boxed up 210 boxes for families that will be given out tomorrow.
Bread of Life takes donations of practically anything, food that they can directly get into the community, money to buy that food, or items that they can sell to families who need them at a meager cost, and then put that money back into buying more food.
But you never know from one week to the next when they come what the average is going to be. They just kind of prepare just what they think was going to come, but the need is always greater than what you can prepare for.
It's what people has brought in.
It's donations.
Donations of clothing
or household items.
Yeah.
Anything and everything, I imagine.
Anything,
yes.
Yeah. And everything. And up front, I want to tell you, they are a faith-based pantry. We're not government-run. We have no government assistance. This is donations and just believing that the Lord is going to supply that need when we need it.
So these items come in and then you resell them at I'm sure very
Modest
meager
prices.
And in turn, how does that help you guys?
That goes right back into the food that in orders us to order from God's Pantry. And when we get that order in, that is gone, they'll go to Prestonsburg and pick that up. And that replenishes that warehouse. When it gets depleted, we got to continuously work to build that back up. So we'll have food at hand, daily.
Otherwise, we buy food through God's Pantry over the internet. We buy it at Lexington, and it comes to Prestonsburg warehouse, and then we go and pick it up. And some of it runs 19 cents a pound, and some of it's pretty high. Food went up, and we buy that food through God's Pantry at Lexington.
So the money that you raise to buy, and then the money that people throughout the community bring in, or in food.
Yes.
Is that it? I mean,
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No, nobody else donating from any companies or entities or anything.
It would be nice if they did.
Yeah.
We'd take all donations.
Well, we had asked for it last Christmas, and we sent letters out at the first of the year. We asked churches and businesses to come along beside us and maybe purchase 50 pounds of flour, 50 boxes of cereal, or just, monetary things. And then, the money's always nice to purchase the ingredients,
things that you
maybe
need.
to put milk with it, to put meat with it, to put something that they would really like to have and really have a need of.
James tells me that right now there are about 3 churches that promise support every month of about $50. One, for example, purchasing 50 bags of flour every month, which means there's plenty of room for more support in the form of a check or donation to the Bread of Life, or as Judy says, maybe just a visit to come by and personally see the need.
Or just come along beside it. Volunteer with us. Come out and work with us.
See the need. If they're not sure that the need's there, come and work with us a few days. Then they can see what the need is.
A lot of times they don't have a need. The community, there's people in the community that don't have a need. But your brother does, or your sister does, or your neighbor does. There's somebody out there that's always in need. And it's our passion to be here to help them.
And if you would like to help them, help the communities of Magoffin and Johnson County, it's as simple as stopping by or calling the Bread of Life Outreach Post with a few canned goods, maybe with a few dollars or maybe even more. 297-2433 is the number to the outreach post. They're there, I believe, 6 days a week, hard at work, just as you saw. Barbara and James Lemaster's phone number, I think it's in Barbara's name if I'm not mistaken, 297-2567. You can call them as well. But if you can at all, give them a call and extend some help this holiday season and maybe even year-round to our friends at the Bread of Life Outreach Post. Your community calendar and other announcements are next. The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground. 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. It's a time to cherish and a time to remember the reason. Pause and relish in the joy and spread the spirit of the Christmas season. And it's all best done with a holiday stop at the Seasonal Shop, where they're having their annual open house Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 14th through the 16th, 9 to 6 every day. They'll be serving hot and cold holiday refreshments. You can take at least 20% off the entire store, up to 70% off select merchandise, and an extra 20% off all clearance items. A free gift with every purchase, and be sure to register for one of the great door prizes. The annual Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop Christmas Open House, the 14th, 15th, and 16th in downtown Sagersville.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne. 349-9000.
Tom Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. Game time means wing time at Lee's, and that means it's time for you to try our new buffalo wings. I can't tell you our secret, but I can tell you they're marinated and then rolled in our famous, albeit a little spicy, crispy chicken batter and served up with any of our 7 delectable sauces. So get your hands on a meal or a box today at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe, where no one does chicken like we do chicken.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Magoffin County Board of Education meets tonight. We'll have a camera there and a report forthcoming. Also, a reminder that I'll reiterate a little more in just a few seconds. The community assessment tomorrow at the Magoffin County Health Department is something we hope a lot of you will be able to attend. It's also something we'll be covering on the news as well. And it's part of tonight's community calendar, which is sponsored by Magoffin Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. And we'll kick it off with a birthday wish, and this one reads, Happy birthday, Larry G. That's Larry G. Hall. With a lot of love from your wife, Gail, kids, family, and friends, happy birthday, Larry. Happy birthday to you. And a reminder that the Matt McGoffin Community Assessment, specifically focusing on the health of our community, is tomorrow. This is an important phase of the assessment that began back in 2005. You do not have to be in the healthcare field at all. They just want anyone from the community to share their thoughts on what the most serious health concerns we face and what we all might think might be the best way to deal with them in the future to make it a healthier, happier place to live. Noon to 3:30 tomorrow at the McGoffin County Health Department. They're going to serve lunch, and they hope that you'll join them. And our friends at another food pantry, which is a great asset to many, many families throughout the area. The Water into Wine Food Pantry, that is, over at the Lakefront Church of God, over specifically, in case you aren't aware, at the old Middle Fork Elementary School. Well, they're distributing food boxes this Thursday, 8:30 till 4:30. Be sure and bring your pantry card with you. They'll be doing so from 8:30 till 4:30 with the break for lunch and to kind of regroup, I guess, from noon till 1. That's this Thursday over at the Water into Wine Pantry. And you still got time if you'd like to register, from newborns all the way through high school students, basically, for the Miss and Master Christmas Sparkle pageants to be held Friday, December the 6th. You can call organizers Tanika McFarland, Tanika, I don't know where that came from, and Jency Bailey if you would like to find out more information. And that will be here before you know it, as will be the Christmas parade and celebration the following day on the 7th. And call us anytime you've got calendar announcements just like these. I promise they're always free, always have been, always will, and that includes birthdays and anniversaries and the like as well. I'll be right back with more of Your News Today after these words. Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is proud to announce the newest members of our family, Administrator Lane Jones and our full-time chaplain Mark Campbell and volunteer Richard Green, new faces with the same sincere desire as these, to assist you and your family with short-term rehabilitation solutions or long-term nursing care needs, close to home and those that you love. Sagersville Nursing and Rehabilitation. Regardless of the project, big or small, inside or out, Bailey's Carpet has your next job covered with service after the sale on Husqvarna and Red Max power tools and equipment. You covered with great deals on boots and clothing by Georgia, Red Wing, and Carhartt, and your floors covered with premium materials at low prices from Bruce, Armstrong, and more at Bailey's Carpet and Hardware in Salyersville.
Howdy, Hatfield. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless's 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
Fountain Turkey here. Home Furniture's cooking up some sweet deals for the holidays. Buy a dining room suit and get 50% off the matching hutch. Buy a living room suit or sectional and get the matching chair or recliner 50% off. Buy any bedroom group and get a free mattress pad and sheet set. Plus, 0% interest for 3 years to qualified buyers. Make Thanksgiving a little tastier with your choice of a free ham or turkey with minimum purchase. Hurry into Home Furniture, Highlands Plaza, Prestonsburg.
They've got muck boots for the hills and the mud, work boots for on and off the job, like the newest and maybe most comfortable, hardest working Red Wing ever. They've got Western boots for kicking up your heels and a whole new store full of the newest styles from all the famous makers you love, like Wrangler, Carhartt, Ariat, Miss Me, Leathers by Scully, and more at the brand spanking new Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville.
Have a buck, get a truck. Now at Hutch Chevrolet, buy any new or pre-owned truck or car for $1 and get a shotgun or rifle just in time for deer season. If you got $1, get a truck. For example, 2013 Chevy Silverado was $37,000. Bucks and trucks price $25,990. Only at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Paintsville, Kentucky.
A lot of ground covered in the McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting earlier this morning. Alcohol sales on Election Day, roads by name or number. They're asking for your input on the matter. A new county park and how decisions are being made in regards to what roads are being blacktopped. All those and more discussed during this morning's session. A reimbursement was unanimously approved to the Bloomington Fire Department for coal severance funds. A payment to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Payment was due of a little more than $13,000, with a balance thereafter of a little more than $25,000. They paid in full the more than $38,000, which completely pays off the debt on the transfer station, which is now paid off and is under ownership of the county. Another advance in coal severance funds for a Sheriff's Department vehicle, a $500 allocation to the Justice Center to help decorate for Christmas and the parade. And then alcohol sales on Election Day, and also alcohol taxes were discussed. It was decided when voted on by ballot, in part, that they would have to adopt the ordinance at the first of the year. This time, a few amendments, with one on a time frame to return applications. Anyone who submits an application for alcohol sales to the county has now set a time frame of 10 business days, that is, to get that application returned to the applicant. Also, an assessment of a penalty if those licenses are not renewed on time. An assessment, I believe, of $100 per fine. And Election Day alcohol sales, as was discussed by Magoffin County Judge Executive Hardin and the Fiscal Court, which historically in Magoffin County, as polls were open, alcohol sales were closed. However, the state of Kentucky gave counties the option some time ago to reverse that decision if they so choose to do so.
The other one is we can now let people drink alcohol on Election Day. Do we want to do that, or do we want to keep it where there's no alcohol sold on Election Day? I hate to change.
How's it been in the past?
Couldn't sell it.
Till the polls open. I mean,
See, I grew up in a little county called Breathitt, beautiful Breathitt, and I live in magnificent Magoffin, but I grew up in Clayhole, and my great-grandfather, which was Owen Barnett's grandfather, packed a bullet, quote-unquote, next to his heart from the infamous Clayhole shooting. And what would happen is, back then, people would use alcohol to make people want to go to the polls, and people get drunk and start fighting.
So that's not
And that's why they stopped it. I don't see a reason to put it back. I think we ought to leave it the way it is. I don't really think it'd be a big problem, but if it resulted in one death and all the money that we'd have to put out in that, it wouldn't be worth it. So I would like for us to say that it'll be a penalty, that you can't do it, and if you do it, you'll be charged $100 for every proven violation. You don't stick nobody in jail or anything. Is that okay? Okay, I make a motion we accept that ordinance with those modifications. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion was second and passed unanimously. Moments after, reappointments were made to the Magoffin County Water Board, that of Mile D. McCarty and Randall Hardin. Those also made unanimously. Then there was asbestos removal at the old John T. Arnott Elementary School, which has been given to the South Magoffin community activists, which will have hopes of turning it into a community center and using it for those and other types of events. And they have, as of late, come across the problem of asbestos and the costly removal of which.
Last night at South Magoffin, they have some asbestos in the old John T. Arnott School that they needing to dispose of, so that the rest of the property will be fixed and look nice, and they can use it for some projects until we're able to get a hold of some money to help them get a community center there. And I really do think it's a hazard. And so I told them last night that I would make a motion that the fiscal court commit up to $7,500 to help with that. I'll come back if we need more, but they're pretty sure they'll take care of it. And that we will work with them, and I'll sign whatever documents we need to allow us to be able to help them get rid of that asbestos and get it out of the county. So I'll make that in the form of a motion. Ronnie will second it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the roads. There's several items I'd like to bring up under that. The first one is I would like the fiscal court to, particularly the magistrates, to talk to their constituents. We need to either designate the roads throughout the county by name or by number. I hate to give up the names, but you all do know the numbers do have some advantages. For instance, it would be Kentucky 1888 or Burning Fork Road, Kentucky 2020 or Mash Fork Road. And that's a pretty big change to suddenly tell somebody you don't want them to use the road name that they've always had. Makes it easier to code in numbers the other way, though, in enhanced 911. And although we're charged with making that decision, we ultimately will do it. I think that that is something that we need to talk to our constituents about. If that was named after my father or my grandfather, I'd have to think long and hard. I know how I'm leaning, but I want to do what the people want to do. So what I would say is we're not going to address that issue today. We'll address that issue in January. That'll give you plenty of time to get out and talk to your constituents and we'll do whatever they want.
We'll come back to more of the discussion on McGoffin County roads on tomorrow's program. For tonight, we'll wrap up fiscal court coverage with discussion of a new county park and how funds have been building up, so to speak, over a few years and now have amassed to the point that they'll be able to use them to put a new county park in for some folks in one particular area.
Presentation, or you want me to? Okay. At the Big Sandy Ad District, there used to be a lot of money that flowed over there, and it was used for a lot of projects, thousands and thousands of dollars every year. Well, it's dwindled down to just a few thousand, and every year we get allocated money. And we've not spent any of that money the entire time I've been there, to the consternation of Sandy Runyon and Regina, because they think that the state's liable to want to come in and pick it up. So we've accumulated $70,000. And we have a piece of property that's been given to us by the state. It's where below the Millard Hensley School, when they shifted the bridge over, they gave us that property. We have made arrangements. We've gotten estimates from people to design it, to equip it, and I'm proud to announce today that Brewster Reisner and I, with the acquiescence of the rest of the court, would like to proceed with building a McGoffin County Bloomington Park. It will consist of a walking track, a half-court basketball court, a grill that they tell me it'd take a Mack coal truck to get out of the ground, but we'll see. A picnic shelter is 20 feet by 28 feet. That'll put 6 of the picnic tables in it, and a playground for the kids. The playground will have 6 swings, and it will be equipped with the little slides and little tunnel things for 2 to 12 years of age. And I think it's a great project. I'd rather have saved the money than done that. Some of the money's been spent in ways I wouldn't have suggested for our county. I think we did a big project, and when we get this one done, the future should be that we will try to work on getting them in other parts of the county. We want some parks that are not high maintenance, but that allow people in the community to have a place to go exercise, take their family for an afternoon. And I'm pleased to announce that, and I make it in the form of a motion. You second that, Rooster?
Yes, I second.
Any discussion? I talked at South McGoffin last night, and they may be more interested in us working hard on a community center initially. But it's whatever the people want. But that's our first thing. Motion been.
That motion made, second, and unanimously approved. And we'll get back to fiscal court coverage on tomorrow's program and a whole lot of other news we've got to try to work in the rest of this week. For now, though, one more item of business this Tuesday, and that's your Licking Valley RECC forecast. 25 degrees outside this morning is what I had here at the studio, 49 for today's high. We'll get back down to pretty much the same tonight with a low of 24 expected under partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow a bit of an improvement from today. No complaints here. 54 I think is where we'll top out. National Weather Service says we're back to the upper 20s tomorrow night. We'll see sunshine and only a few clouds late. It's going to be a nice Wednesday. Right around average, right where we should be, really, on a good day. Thursday, a little more improving temperatures, 58, Partly sunny skies, certainly nighttime lows more favorable, a low of 38. Clouds are going to roll in Thursday night. They're going to hang around for a little while. Friday, warmer, 60, and certainly a nicer low of 44. But those clouds will move in, stay around Friday, and then showers are likely Friday night. And then we've got a chance thereof on into your weekend where we see mostly cloudy skies and temperatures take a fall. 45 and back to 19 for nighttime lows. And the weekend gets even colder, folks. Hope you enjoyed last weekend. Sundays, 34 and 18, really paints a picture of winter. We're going to see sunshine, but it's going to be clear and cold. And we'll see us Monday of next week rebound to maybe 42 for daytime highs. We might even stay in the low 40s for a few days to start off next week. That might put you in the Christmas spirit, or not. Thank you all for being a part of the program. We're glad, as always, to have you with us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Thanks for watching.